exactly on my phone. Hold on, let me pause the beat. I've returned in this cold, snowy day in the city, and I will be here going to discuss my final thoughts very soon about the Hunger Games. I'm up to literally, I have 6 chapters left, and then I'll be watching the film. You hear beeping is because it's snowing and the people are cleaning up the snow outside. But I cannot believe I'm almost done with this book already. I probably would have felt I would have more than likely finished it days ago, but I like stopped reading after I got to chapter 10. I like stopped reading for like 2 days, and then I just totally forgot to go back into it. But y'all have seen my reviews and thoughts of the first 2 parts in my shorts on here, and if you haven't, go watch them. And I'm just excited to just be here discussing the 3rd and final act. So far, Peeta is very, very sick because he has an infection in his leg from the cut he got from Kato. And Katniss is doing everything she can to make sure he doesn't die, because now he has blood poisoning from the infection in his leg. And I don't know how Peeta has lasted this long with this like infection in his leg and it's cut his leg, because he was literally in hiding and he hid really well. And obviously Katniss did find him, and now they're in a cave and they're trying to be the last 2 so they can both win a Hunger Game, but she still has a couple more people to fight against in order to win. But she also has to sit here and keep Peeta alive in the midst of trying to also stay alive herself if other contestants find her. And you know what's funny? While I was reading this book, and like now that I'm up to the Hunger Games part, I'm like, dang, where do they, like, I just think about like things that we do in our everyday life, like using the restroom. Like, you can't shower because there's no shower, you can't really like lollygag, and like she did wash a couple times in the lake, but like obviously she doesn't soap and everything to really get in the nitty gritty. And then like using the bathroom, like you gotta rush because you know you want 10 of being scared of not somebody finding you in the midst of like doing your business. I'll be thinking about those things, like, when do they have time to use the bathroom? Like, they can't bathe, so they probably funky, but like, girl, it's a do or die thing. Let's not worry about that. But that's just things that I'll also be thinking about. But I'm still devastated about Rue's death. Like, I don't think I'll ever get over that. I like seeing other people's comments on my shorts talking about like the devastation of Rue, and how like the prequel books are very sad as well, which I'm not ready for that, because I know a lot of people have seen, they've read Haymitch book and they've like been boo-hooing, and I'm like, I already boo-hooed enough for Rue. I'm a little nervous to read his book, but I have a while to go for that one. I have literally like 3 books before his, so we have time. But I have just been nonstop just eating this book up, just eating up. I feel like I already know I'm gonna give this book a 5-star. It was excellent from beginning to end. Just like somebody said, the lore of like the pin being a mockingjay, and like the significance of like the actual mockingjay birds in this book, and the significance that mockingjay is literally the title of the last book. Like, how it just all comes together is so beautifully done. And the way that, like I said in my reviews of the first 2 parts, like how what the fuck, that is a whole wrong Arthur, and I ain't even never read that lady books a day in my life. I am so sorry, Susan Collins. I would ever say somebody that is you. Susan Collins did an American, what is wrong with me? Did an amazing job of also, like I said, the lore of like Sienna, what's that his name? Yeah, Sienna's calling Katniss the girl on fire, and then the second book is called Catching Fire. Like, queen, because at the prime time when these books like first came out, you would never think that those would connect, those 2 objects, like that word, that saying, and the pen. You would never think about those significance of those things. You would think it was just an in passing, and then you see the titles of the next 2 books and you're just like, you ate that. You ate that, Miss Man. You ate that. And the way that, like, because of the love story that Peeta did in the first section of the book, and how that all is really like the driving force of why Katniss and Peeta has gone this far, of like, you know, people just rooting for the lovers so hard, being like, you know, we're gonna make 2 people of the district, of each district, live and win the whole games. We're gonna do something different with the feast. We're gonna sit here and give you something for you all to live, knowing that, because like they probably know that Peeta is basically dying. So it's like the people is literally eating up the love story, which, not gonna lie, me, but in different circumstances. In different circumstances, you people are rooting for a love story and children are dying. Like, time and place. But clearly they don't care about that. They don't give 2/5 of the damn. They just don't care. And basically, what else do I want to talk about? I think that's really it that I want to talk about for now. More will come to me once I'm, like, obviously officially done with the book and give my full on review. This is just like a brief review. I just wanted to talk about how this is like literally the end of me reading this book, and I will definitely be purchasing this book for myself, for my own personal library. This is obviously from the library, but when I make my own personal library, I will definitely be purchasing the book, because this book was absolutely fantastic. So see y'all when I'm done officially reading the book, give you my full review, and then I will come back again after I'm done watching the film and talk about how the movie and the book compared and differentiated, and what my thoughts on the film compared to the book. So, peace. I'm officially done with the Hunger Games, and let me give my final thoughts. I loved it. I kind of went more in depth of my thoughts on my TikTok and my shorts here, but I would just go briefly just announce that I love the writing of the book. I love just the way that Susan Collins really makes the stakes feel like this is a do or die situation, and that when they do the certain stakes, you really understand like the capital and the people who watch this game really just do not care about these children. This is literally solely for entertainment. Like, it's literally given like gladiator games and mixed up like reality TV, because they feel like, I say reality TV because they're so enamored with Katniss and Peeta's love story, even though it's amidst of like they're potentially going to, either one are going to die until they change, and they're like, no 2 people from the same district can lie, keeping like the idea of like, okay, these 2 people can still be together and like they can make it happen. And it's just like, until the final act when they like are the last 2 and then they change their mind, like, no, I lied, you actually both can't live. Let me turn my phone. To be in the games, one of you have to like die, and then that's when Katniss like, what the heck, my phone's not staying up. And so Katniss does it Uno reverse and is like, oh, you want to be funny? I'll be hilarious. Now we're going to do a double suicide. And then that's when they're like, oh no, we're just kidding. You both can live. And my most devastating thing to me is Rue. Rue is part of my top 3 in this book. I've said what I said. I don't care that her time in this book was short. I really don't give a okay. She's my top three. Katniss obviously is in my top three, and I feel like Peter will be my top three too because he really held his own in this book. So Haymitch would be top four for me. Yeah, he was like being jerky, but like you have to understand he is traumatized, okay? He's traumatized. Even though I'm not up to his book yet, he's traumatized. I know he's been through things and seen some things, so I understand I would go into alcoholism if too if I was with him, you know? Effie's like the toxic positivity, and he's like the doom and gloom. It's like the two forms of like trauma response, these two, which I think that's why they're perfect for each other as like coaches for the tributes, because they're just two sides of like a different spectrum of how to process these emotions of like what you basically have to train children to fight to the death. Sienna was a good balance as well because he was just so like calming for Katniss when she felt like there was no other adult that was really like helping her with her emotions and understanding like I really don't want to do this, but I have no choice but to do this, and like I feel like this whole ordeal is really up, and I don't want to sit here and talk about myself and just be like these kind of like a reality star of like everything's just golly gee and everything's good by wearing these fancy gowns, and my people back at home are literally hungry and working like a dog day and night. My daddy just died a couple months ago, and you want me to sit and I literally had to be here because if it wasn't for me, my sister would be here. And he was just a great person to kind of like just quiet her thoughts just a little bit when Effie and like Haymitch really couldn't do it. And then like her relation with Peeta was like, I use like a lot, y'all, I am so sorry. Her and Peeta's relationship was, you didn't see so much in the beginning, but like once Act 3 came in and she had to, you know, get him back to life after him almost dying, I feel like it was always just that tick for tat for them two of like owning each other. Like, I saved you in this situation, I saved you in this situation, I saved you in this situation. And it feels like that was always like a recurring issue for her, is always feeling like she has to pay back for Peeta for always saving her. And so this was her final moment to finally like get back and helping him, because he's always been the one to save her and now she's finally the one saving him. Love that for her. And I just think that it ended on a very wild way, because then Haymitch basically tells her what you did of like Una reversing the Capitol. Now they're watching you because they feel like you play in their face and you want to be funny. And she's like, I kind of did, but like I didn't think at the moment the dawning consequences of doing what I did. I just did it because you guys told us one thing and now you're switching up. You know, she always slowly now seeing what Gale was talking about when he always had his big issues with the Capitol. And like she kind of like opened her eyes, and like what Peeta was telling her other little things in the beginning in Act 1 of being like, I don't want the games to change me. That's why he was like, I don't want to kill anybody, I don't want to do that because I don't want the games to change who I am. And now she's kind of understanding what both of them meant of how they met. At the time she was like, oh no, don't say that, or oh whatever, you just think you're big. But now she is understanding what they meant. And she's just like, oh my god, I don't want to put my family in danger because of what I did. Peeta finds out that he feels she basically did not really feel anything for him the way I would assume he feels for her. Like, I believe that his feelings for her are actually real. And Candace is like, she's conflicted with her emotions, because she doesn't know if like I'm portraying Gale if I start having feelings for Peeta, but do I really start having feelings for Peeta, or is it just a moment of like we're in this death games moment that I'm starting to feel something for you because you almost died and da-da-da-da-da. So her emotions are all over the place. But it was always in the back of her mind, like, well, I have to do this because we get something out of umping up our romance. While he's just like, I just did it because I generally feel that way. But So she's just in confusion. And so once he finds that out, he's like, okay, well, we're just gonna go back to the way we were before the games, that we don't really know each other no more. We'll keep up the act one last time, because when they got to District 12 back home, the cameras was there, so they have to keep up the facade. But once the cameras leave, then they can go back to the way they were, and then book 2 will start. And I do definitely feel like there is going to be consequences of Katniss doing what she did to what she did to Capitol. And it's like nanny nini boo boo, because y'all really did say one thing and all of a sudden y'all want to switch it up on the last second, because I feel like they're just jealous because the District 12's victors are the victors, tributes are the victors, when they don't feel like they're the lesser, they don't deserve to be winners, and they keep feeling like the star-crossed lover type things, and they just hate that, and it's like, too bad. So I'm excited to read book 2. That is my official thoughts of the book. I will be watching the movie hopefully today, before the end of the week. Okay, so that is my official thoughts of the book. R.I.P. to Rue, love you down boots. I cried like uncontrollably when she was dying. When she died, I felt like I was in that moment with Katniss. Like, I'm not even joking. But I'm excited to watch the movie just so I can like compare and contrast, and then I'll come back to explain how my feelings of the movie compares to the book. So, wow. My phone. I have not recorded myself in a hot minute, and I need to record it. I did do stuff last week and I could have recorded, but I did. So here we are. But I went to Ulta today because I got a gift card from a friend of mine. She got me a $50 gift card for Ulta, and I didn't get to, original price was $64. I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, might I add, for $64. But what the fuck is going on? But nevertheless, every time I record, the world wants to make noise. Hold on. I got alien spaceships flying over my house. But yeah, $64 for 6 things is kind of astronomically crazy. But nevertheless, let me show you what I got. So I got 2 NYX lip liners. My favorite colors is Moonwalk and Brown, because let me show you how short the Moonwalk and Brown are in my collection. Where are they? Wait, is this the brown here? Yeah, this is brown that I have left. Look how tiny she is. And then Moonwalk. This is Moonwalk. You need a refill. And then I was trying to find this color, Downtown Beauty, but they looked like they were sold out of Downtown Beauty, so couldn't get that. I was looking. It wasn't there. Even the tester was the wrong color. I also need to find these. What the? I did see a couple espressos, which this is my espresso lip liner. What the bloody hell? This is my espresso lip liner. You could tell it's very low. I did see the espresso and I should have got it, but always next time. Look, I'm always gonna stick my NYX. They're $6 each. You can't beat that. I'm sorry, I'm always gonna do NYX every time, and I prefer pencil liner than any other type to me. These are another 2 lip liners that were my faves when I literally started college. These are the same exact ones. This is dark brown. Didn't see them there in Ulta, but another 2 faves of mine. So these are like my main lip liner colors I use. You can see how short they are. They're very loved. I did do my nails. myself, my little manicure. Aren't they cute? Let me show you the other things I got from Ulta. So this is my favorite powder to touch on my face when I'm getting a bit oily. This is, hopefully this is the same color. No, this is a touch darker. This is natural tan. No, I was supposed to get 310 Sun Beige. This is gonna be too orangey. Dang. I'm gonna see if I'm able to exchange. It's okay, it's okay. But yeah, this is what I use to like touch up my face when I get oily. It's just a preferred. And then these are 3 things that are new that I want to try. So I've heard good things about this L'Oreal Paris Infallible 3-second setting mist. So I got this. I got this grippy serum from Maybelline. It's a primer. I've heard good things about this as well. And I was gonna get the e.l.f. tinted serum thing. That was $18. This was $9. So I was like, I'm gonna go with one that's cheaper. So I got the Soft Glam Satin Foundation from e.l.f. So these are the 3 new things, and then the other things are stuff that I've used before. So I'm happy with my little mini Ulta haul that I have here. But let's show another haul that I have, a bookie haul. So you saw on my shorts the 4 books I'm planning on reading this February. So I got this one, The Parable of the Sawyer. I got it. Reclaiming Your Space. How Black Feminists Are Changing the World from the Tweets to the Streets. I got it. And I got Honey and Spice, all from my library. So, and then I got my other book that I'll show here. I got it through Libby, so technically it's still a library. It's just that when I wanted to get it from the library, somebody already got it, so I couldn't get it. But I am reading it on my Kindle, because you can connect your Libby to your Kindle, and I've been reading it. I'm devouring it. It's so good so far. I'm on, I think, page 85 of like 507, and I'm loving it. I'm having like a good old time reading it. It's so enriching to the mind, and in the sense of like the, you know, the point of community, regardless of like age and all that, and I'm having a good old time. But I am also reading another book, Feast of the Flesh, I think it's called. I've read this Arthur's book before. It's their book that I read before, The Poisoner. I've read that one and I did enjoy it. I think the second part of that book is supposed to come out later this year. This is from a whole different universe, The Feast of the Flesh. It's an arranged marriage, and at first they got me thinking that they were going to be like cool with each other. They're like cordial, but they don't really speak right now, and I'm just kind of like, I thought y'all was gonna be sweet and loving and like be cool through this arranged marriage, but I was fooled. I was played. That played me. Yes, all the books I'm reading are Black authors and Black leads, except Feast of Flesh. They're white, but you know, I just have to. I read Black all year long, but expeditiously because it is Black History Month. So I have a Black History Month on the non-Black to the back. Period. But yeah, tomorrow I have to go to DMV to renew my ID. I need to check the list of all the things I have to bring and do prior, because the DMV will send you home if you miss a document. I ain't got time for that. Okay, I don't got time for that. All I want to do is just get my new ID, hopefully take a new picture for it, because the picture that I have on my ID is from when I was 18. You're 29, sister. It's time to change the picture. And yeah, I don't want to get the real ID because I don't have a passport. So if I travel through the United States of America, I would just show my passport. Even that's kind of ridiculous, because I don't even want to go there right now with the US of A. I don't got time. Okay, but nevertheless, that's all I'm going to talk about. I'll show clips like either before this or after this of the things I did. last week that I didn't really discuss or go into. I went to a foot away with my mother. I went painting pour with a friend that got me the Ulta gift card. It made me bring back my love of painting. I kind of want to go back to my painting. I have so many canvases and stuff that I can use to paint. Also, what was I gonna say? Now I lost my train. I have over 100 subscribers. I know it may not be a lot, but like I was in the 96 through 98 for the longest time. But my Hunger Game review really boosted me up. Maybe I could have did shorts ages ago and I could have had more subscribers by now. I feel like shorts has a better algorithm in getting you branched out with more people than TikTok, to be honest. Because more people have watched my shorts than on TikTok. Like, TikTok, you kind of selfish. YouTube shorts is kind of where it's at. If you want to like build faster, to me, it looks like shorts than compared to TikTok. How YouTube took your nachos and they doing better than you. But anyway, I'm done chatting. Maybe I'll come back if I want to chat about something else. But if not, then y'all see me tomorrow.